Hi, welcome to Career Counseling Online's Mindset session, wherein we talk to entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and those who have taken the guts to do something different in their life. Those are the people who have shown that we do not have to follow the regular norms and have a complaining professional life. Today, we are going to talk to one such budding entrepreneur who is Pallab Dutta. And Pallab is the founder of Fixed Investment, and he is a corpus fund management consultant, and he's an investment planner also. We will talk to Pallab. And Pallab, first and foremost, welcome to Career Counseling Online show. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi Sanjay. Hi everybody.
It's great to have you here, Pallab, in our show. It's really great, and thank you so much for taking out the time out of your busy schedule. It's really nice of you. So, Pallab, we will straight away go into our question round. Uh, First, we would like you to tell about a bit about uh, the journey of fixed investment, how it all started, why it started, and what was your role? What was your role in starting this journey, and what is it that fixed investment is doing? Because we are in a market wherein there are so many, we can see investment consultant, investment organizations. What is fixed investment doing in terms of something different, right? So how did the journey begin? How did the journey, like, hopefully the journey began some couple of years back, like 2014, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, right.
From
2014.
2014, how did the journey began and why did the journey began? Please, Pallav.
Sanjay. Actually, I was working in a private company.
Uh-huh.
I have worked around 14, 15 years in a private company,
Okay.
and I had always in me that I wanted to do something on my own. Okay, and because I was in a service industry, and I used to meet many people,
Mm-hmm.
and actually it was my knack and my I always love to interact with people. I was very keen to know what was around going on in people's mind, and so when I decided to start something on my own,
Mm-hmm.
I started with this financial thing, because what I felt that we spend so much energy to earn the money. Okay,
Right.
but but we actually don't plan anything to how to keep the money, how to basically what I felt that actually we are afraid to plan with our money. What we earn, uh, we always spend erratically. Uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely
Actually,
agree.
people
Absolutely agree.
tend to spend erratically. They don't
Right.
actually plan. See, if we are planning to make a see everybody, we actually everybody uh, uh,
It has become like a habit.
say,
Like this erratic spending has become like a bad habit of this generation,
yeah, yeah,
Pallav. Right.
yeah. And see, we plan so much when we go on a trip or go on a holiday.
Right.
We tend to plan so much thing, like when we are gonna go, and what will be the hotel, and
Right.
where we gonna stay,
Uh-huh.
and what will be the cost. We spend so much time in
Right.
planning thing, but we never plan about our future. uh, okay, and like in every stage of life we need some money, we
Right.
need some amount to spend, we need to spend. But we are so much engrossed in like recent things. Like we can see only coming 1 month, coming 2 months, coming 3 months, but we fail to see beyond that.
Okay.
Like we have a
Okay.
life
Right.
after 2 years also, after 3 years also, after 5 years also, after 10 years also. But
Okay.
bit in our mind,
Uh-huh.
we never try to see beyond 2 months, beyond 3 months.
Right. Right.
We
Absolutely
we
right.
we we tend to live in present. Okay, like we need to buy a TV, we need to buy a new mobile phone, but
Okay.
we miss the big things. Okay, so I wanted to I wanted to like
Bring that kind of consciousness about fund management.
yeah, yes, I wanted to create an awareness in people,
Right.
so that they can see beyond 2 3 months, beyond. Like we have our goals now, like
Okay.
we have our children,
Mhm.
like we need to support them in their education. We have to have a retired life. So we need to think in constructive way
Right.
to that life goals. But
Right.
generally we miss those things. So what I wanted to meet people, to construct their financial journey in such way that
Mhm.
they can achieve their goals more smoothly. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Okay. So
and
Pallab,
peak insurance and
Pallab,
investment.
if we go by that, I absolutely understand. That is what makes fixed investment a lot different from other investment agencies, where you are talking about creating a vision with your fund, creating like a planning for your children for the coming days. It is absolutely, I think,
Basically we need to create a goal, like
right.
in a football field,
Mhm.
if you don't have a bar post, you don't
Right.
have a bar post, so what will you do with the ball? You need a goal.
Exactly.
Okay, you need a goal. That is in your life also. You need to have a goal in, and every investment and every your journey needs to be towards that goal only,
Right.
or else you cannot reach the goal, or else you cannot reach the goal.
Pallab, that brings me to the present situation. When we are seeing like, with the lockdown, people are going heavier. I mean, like they don't have the capability. It's not about one or two or three. We are finding it across the country that people are finding it extremely difficult to handle their fund, to handle their requirements. Now, Pallab, we will come into that segment later on. One by one, let me know. We have understood from you, why you started up your entrepreneurship to go all by yourself, because 15 years you have worked in the service industry and you were with, working with quite a reputed brand, and you were interacting with people, and that brought you to this fact that you wanted to help out people see their vision beyond, right? That is a great objective. Like any startup, entrepreneurship starts with an objective. So I guess you wanted people to have a goal in their fund, and that was the biggest objective which has driven you to create this organization. Now I will come with the interesting part, which I always ask every entrepreneur. What what was going in your mind when you selected the name of your entrepreneurship? Because I'm sure when you picked up the name, it must have given you some message in your mind, like why not Star Agency, or why not Star Mutual Investment? Why People Industry? So can you tell me the story behind it?
uh, when I was thinking about the name,
Right.
The name Peak. Uh, Actually, I wanted a short name which
Mhm.
people can remember. Okay,
Okay.
and mm, I uh, uh, I wanted I wanted a name very simple, like you are when you are talking,
Uh-huh.
you always talking about your pick that
Right.
I wanted a short name, and I wanted that the name pick
Okay. So
basically
it's like picking the insurance, or it's like
it's like
picking the
it's like
plan.
picking the right choice,
Right
picking
choice.
the right people,
Cool.
picking the right lifestyle. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
that lead me to this name. And
Fantastic.
the first name is P.
Mhm.
My first name is also starts with P, so I
Okay.
have a soft corner for that.
All right. So that is
So
great. That is a creative way of thinking about it, to create an impression about the organization in the minds of whosoever is coming forward for the service. Now we will go into those details. Pallab, you began this journey in 2014, right? So we are in 2020. So that means your organization has covered a journey of 6 years. So when throughout, when we look into this global scenario, Pallav, we see frustration, depression, and all kind of negativity uh, coming our minds, right? Even the professionals are unhappy. It has been a shocking report I would like to share with you. Forbes has released this report that 70% of the working people are unhappy and disengaged. So when that kind of environment is there, for a person who was happily working with an organization for 15 years, you had a fixed salary, you had the bonuses, you had the comfort of the life, you had the office transportation, you had all the rewards and perks, extra things. Now, when you started this journey in 2014, I am sure this 6 years was not, a path of roses. I'm sure the
no.
path was filled with difficulty. So, when see, one of the objective of mindset show is to make people understand that yes, you are going through a problem. Yes, you have a problem even in your job, even in your business, but entrepreneurs are taking so much of risks, so much of pain in going through, in providing something, a solution. Like for instance, for your organization, it is not only about selling investment or selling instruments. It's about teaching people to have a goal in life with their fund, about making the right choice, about the right kind of lifestyle. So, Pallav, if I may ask you, how far and how was the journey for this past 6 years? How was it?
Look, Sanjay, I started this my journey as an entrepreneur because I was working fine, but suddenly I thought that I have no purpose. I always went to office around morning 9:30, and
Okay.
work till 7 till 8, and come back home. And when coming back to home,
Hmm.
uh, there was I was doing fine, okay, and I loved my job, but there was no job satisfaction. Basically, uh, I uh, I was missing something. I was
Okay.
missing something. I was I wanted a purpose. Okay, I wanted uh, people to remember me. Okay, what
Okay.
I'm doing,
Okay.
I am earning money. Okay, I am earning money for my people. I am earning money for my family. But there was no purpose. I wanted to do something which have some purpose. Okay,
Okay.
like in this journey of 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
I have interacted with so many people, and like uh, when I start planning for their family, for their future, they are basically they feel so much happy, so much content. Like I can share you one thing that uh,
Please, please.
one of my client who had around income of around 1.5 lakhs per month. He was
Okay.
getting salary.
Okay.
Okay, like a middle class family. He had a flat. Some EMI was going with his family. But
Okay.
when I start planning for their finance, I
Mm-hmm.
found that their whole life is going into debt. Like they were drawing cash from their credit card
Oh my God.
and paying the
Okay.
bills. Okay,
Okay.
uh, actually there was no planning. So when I start planning with them from scratch, and after around 6 months,
Uh-huh.
they were very happy. Like uh, the the man
Mm-hmm.
basically now he's one more company like family friend, and
Okay.
he always says that Pallab, I was working, I was earning, but I didn't know how to manage the money. Okay,
Okay.
and
Okay.
like there are so many small things we can do
Mm-hmm.
our in our daily life, and
Okay.
like we can live a very smooth and purposeful life if
Purposeful
we
life.
do small changes.
Right.
Okay, so this satisfaction, like that man is calling me like in the mid of night, he give a message to me like WhatsApp me, that's buddy, I'm thankful that God sent you to
That's
me, and
absolutely great. Absolutely
like
great.
this is a satisfaction I'm getting other than money, which
Right.
I was
Right.
not getting earlier.
So
Okay,
this is like a huge achievement. Like you are able to be that change maker in a person's life, wherein you are actually adding value to that person's life. So this value addition was something that you wanted to do, and that's what prompted you to take that risk. So Pallav, tell me one thing. I know you are a family man, and you have responsibilities of the whole family and so on. So were you afraid? Were you afraid to take this risk? I mean, this complete challenge into starting from scratch and doing something new all by yourself. Where there are doubts like I might fail and things might go wrong, and what happens then? So what were you afraid, and how did you work on those fear factors?
uh, can you please repeat the last two lines?
Yes, yes.
I
I'll tell you.
couldn't
I'll
get it.
tell you. See, when you were taking this risk to start your entrepreneurship, you have family, you have responsibilities,
Hmm.
and you know, did this thing appear in your mind that I might fail? What if I fail and everything will go, jeopardized? Because you were having a fantastic life, 15 years of service, you were enjoying life, you were earning good, and why take the risk? And even if I'm taking a risk, I am actually bringing difficulties to my family. Did this kind of thoughts come into your mind?
No, you are right. That thought came to my mind,
Uh-huh.
but I had a talk with my family members. I
Okay.
told them that I want to do this. I want to do something on of my own,
Okay.
and they were really supportive. Without their support,
Mhm.
I may not I may not do what I am doing today.
Okay, that's
But
great.
you know, Sanjay, it was a madness at that time. Basically, this thing was this thing of doing something of own was circling around my mind for last few years, before
Okay.
2014.
Okay.
I wanted to do something last 2-3 years, and if you start something different from what you were doing for your life,
Right.
doing for rest of your life, but you have to for that period some madness came in your mind. Okay,
It's like
you
a
have to be
passion.
mad
It's like
about.
a passion driving you, like to do that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But
Great.
that I was I decided that I won't work with I won't do a job. I will do for something of my own.
Right, right.
Okay,
Absolutely
and
agreed. Absolutely. I understand, Pallav. I mean, I always call that as a passion for being the change maker. Because, see, Pallav, the thing is, why I'm asking is because I personally believe entrepreneurs are driven by madness. I mean, unless you're driven by madness, you cannot, or you should not even start this, journey of yours. Right. So, Pallav, are you able to hear me? Are you able to hear me, Pallav? Yes, sorry about that, Pallav. We had a power failure. I'm sorry about that. So, as I was mentioning, Pallav, I always mention entrepreneurs are driven by that kind of passion, that kind of madness, wherein they cannot, even go with a comfortable life. They have something in their mind constantly going, which pushes them towards their destination. So, Pallav, with that question, I would come to the most important question, like you mentioned about your family. That is a great thing to say. Without the family, I always mention entrepreneurs can only go ahead when their family is with them. So far, how supportive was your family? You have already mentioned without them, it was not possible. So how supportive your wife, because you have a son, you have parents to take care of. How supportive were your family?
yeah, they were very supportive. Without their support, without their basically mental support,
Hmm.
I may not do what I am doing today.
Okay.
Uh, uh, Actually, they failed my madness.
Okay.
They uh, they uh, they knew that I was not happy with
Exactly.
what I am
Exactly.
doing. I'm not happy. Like I am earning money, but end of the day, there was something that I was missing. So I think what you need, happiness is the thing. Like we are, what we are working for. We are working for our family. We are working for ourselves too now. And end of the day, you should be happy that what you are doing.
Right. So
Like you need to be
Pallav, this
satisfied.
unhappiness, Pallav, sorry to interrupt you, like this unhappiness of feeling incomplete, was it somehow impacting the professional and personal life? I mean, you say that your family was recognizing that you were not that happy with the very comfortable life. It might sound strange, but yes, comfortable life also. To few entrepreneurs I have spoken, it was that they already had a very comfortable life, but still they wanted to do something, and they were facing a lot of problems. So, are you saying that when you were not that happy with the kind of service that you were doing, you were not able to do what you wanted to do? Was it impacting the personal and professional life? Was it impacting the life balance?
uh, See, I spoken a lot with
Uh-huh.
my parents, with my with my wife, I have spoken a lot. Like I was not growing up. Uh,
That is
like
fantastic.
you
That is
know that
fantastic way of saying. That is fantastic way of saying, Pallab. Uh, See, that is the reason why we talk about in mindset. We do not have any preset questions. We talk to entrepreneurs very freely. In the sense, see, these are the kinds of things that our viewers should learn. See, here is a guy who was happily working for 15 years, and he says that I was not growing. So, an entrepreneur is somebody who's always looking for growth. That is fantastic, Pallab. That is
like
fantastic. Please tell me. Please go ahead.
so that is the main thing. I was not growing. Like I was doing the same thing repetitive, like uh, same phone calls, that same type of reporting, that same type of talking with clients and all.
And you were heading the operations. I am informed that you were heading the operations, and you were looking into the client and basic operation, core operation you were looking into. But still, you wanted to do something different in with your experience and bring a change
like
in people's
adding
life,
value.
adding a value.
I wanted to add value to someone's life.
Okay, that is great. That
Like
is great.
like, I wanted to add some value. Like people, I wanted people remember me.
Okay, okay,
Whenever they remember about my name, they
hmm
should have a smile on their face. Okay,
okay,
they they should remember me like a man, like a
okay,
human being who
okay.
have added value in their life.
That
Okay,
is great.
I
That is
wanted to
great.
I wanted to I wanted to leave a legacy, like
Okay,
not in term of money, not only term of money. I wanted to leave a legacy about a man, like after when I will not be there, like
okay.
in like say 50 years, about what will happen after 50 years of my death.
hmm
After 50 years,
Okay,
I wanted a name to be reckoned with. Okay, so I started this journey. I wanted to touch people's life. Like when we talk about money, it's not about keeping money. Basically, the what we need, we need to understand the human being, the man or the people I am interacting with. We need
right.
what they want. Okay, like
Okay,
people in many there are many times that people don't know what they will do.
okay.
they they know they they want to do something, but they basically don't know actually
Mm,
what are they gonna do. Okay,
okay,
so
okay.
when I talk with my client, any of my client, I
Right.
want I try to understand the thing that he or she is not saying.
Okay,
like
okay. The unspoken
like
words.
this
The unspoken words.
unspoken words, like they share a lot, but
Okay,
there are few things they don't share. i
right.
I try to look, I try to that part that they are not saying.
Okay.
Okay, so basically managing money or managing finance is 80% behavioral.
So
Okay,
it's like managing the emotions and the behavior.
perfect. You don't manage money like
Okay.
like you like a football team coach. uh, like a coach cannot teach Messi how to take a free kick.
Okay.
He already know it.
All right.
You cannot teach Virat Kohli how to score a boundary.
Okay.
Like he know everything. What they do, like a coach what to do? Coach try to play with their brain. They are
Okay.
what they want, like they try to create a path for them. So I think this there are many names, like some people call them financial planner, or like, I think that it's not about finance. It's about
Okay.
behavior. It's about lifestyle. So
I guess that what makes Peak Investment a lot different from the other investment agencies we find in the market, wherein we have an entrepreneur talking in terms of handling human emotions, human behavior to manage their funds. Now, Pallab, honestly speaking, I personally not being a very good planner myself, and I can take this leverage to talk on behalf of this generation, which is facing this crisis. So, Pallab, tell me, in these 6 years of your journey, um, do you believe the way we manage our life, the way we manage our lifestyle, actually decides the kind of money that we will have in our bank balance or the kind of fund management we will have? So, to you, I would like to know: is it like you are referring to certain kind of disciplines, like we need to follow to manage our funds in the coming days? Because I might get some tips. I might apply those in my personal life, and the viewers might be benefited. So can you talk about that, please?
like I in this COVID situation,
Hmm. Please.
in this COVID, this pandemic situation, there was a lockdown of around 3 months. Okay, uh,
Right.
we many there are many people uh, that they could not earn a single penny in this period, like in these 3 months.
In this 3 months.
Or there was salary cut, there were there were there were small scale business MSMEs who could not open their shops, or
Right.
like,
Complete
there were many
shutdown. I mean,
problems.
complete shutdown. Right.
Complete shutdown. Okay, and I want to I want to tailor tips, like see, like a man in his say 40s. Okay, a
Hmm.
man, if he in his 40s,
Okay.
he started his career around say at the age of 25, 26.
Right.
25, 26. So a man, if in age of 40 and started his career 15 years back, so he had 15 years, that means 15 into 12, around 150 plus
180.
30, I mean 180 months.
180. 180 months.
He 180 months he was working continuously before
Right.
this 3 months gap. Okay,
Right.
and I can share something, that if in this 180 months he would have been saving around rupees 500
Okay.
per month,
Okay.
you can calculate how much money he could have saved.
At least that money could have been in the bank balance.
That money could have uh, run his family for around 2 years.
Right.
Like
Absolutely correct.
like 500 is nothing. Like 500 is nothing. We spend 1,000 if we go to
A
see a
movie.
movie.
Right.
Go to see a movie. Like a 500 in 180 months would have been around, in my calculation, rough calculation, it would be around 10 lakhs.
Okay.
If the money would be kept in a savings account also, so
Right.
we need a contingency fund. Like when I
But
am
but
when
we
I
were
am
never prepared. But we were never prepared for this because we thought
we are
always
never prepared. Basically,
it can continue.
we always live in the present.
Right. Right.
We always live in the present. Like what we are doing in next 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, 5 days, in 6 months, but we fail to look beyond that.
So is
So
it
you
Pallav, that we are lacking? The present generation or the current generation is lacking the vision even in fund management. the same fund that they work so hard to earn, are you referring that they are, lacking that kind of vision to look beyond? I mean, I know I might not need an iPhone 10 today. I'd rather save some money for, after 6 months, I might, need it for a medical bill or something else. Are you referring to that, that we are lacking that kind of vision to look beyond?
Look, in financial planning, you should have a contingency fund. You
Right.
should have a emergency fund. You should have if you are working, if you are salaried, you are working for a very good company.
Mhm.
Still, you should have a contingency fund of like 6 months.
Okay, to continue the
You have to
lifestyle,
have a.
to continue the lifestyle.
Look, the lifestyle thing is very. This is very like life plus style. Like style have no limits. Style have no limits. Nah,
Right.
you can whatever money you can spend. That
It,
is
it will be less.
less.
It will be less.
That is less. If you are spending 5,000, you can spend 50,000. If you are spending 50,000, you can spend 5 lakhs.
Right.
So style has no limits, but you have to know your limits.
Actually,
Style have no limits, but you have to know
actually,
your limits.
Pallab, actually. So
So
Pallab, that brings me to this question. Like, do you believe when you're talking about a limit, you have mentioned this limit about the lifestyle or the way we think or something. But when you're an entrepreneur, do you personally believe any challenge or any limit can stop an entrepreneur? Like for your instance, I'm sure in these 6 years, you have faced a lot of problems, but you never considered those as your limitation, right? A limit to lifestyle, a limit to the kind of exorbitant life that we have is required. But when you are an entrepreneur, do you believe an entrepreneur ever accepts any limitation, ever accepts any challenge, ever accepts failure?
basically, the limit is in your mind. Being
Okay.
an entrepreneur, when you are starting something,
Hmm.
the limit is in your mind. Like
That's a great way.
today, if I have a client base of 500, if I have a client base of 500,
Okay.
uh, like what is my limitation? I can I dream to work with millions of people.
I
Like
understand. I understand your point.
the limit is only in your mind. I don't think yes, setbacks are there.
Okay.
There will be setbacks. There will be if there is no setback, then what story we would have tell?
You're
We
talking
have
about
some
legacy.
story.
You're talking about legacy,
Yes,
leaving behind a
and
legacy.
legacy, and like if we don't struggle, what we will tell the stories. That's like if you struggle,
Right.
that made a story, na. After 20 years, after 30 years, you will tell these stories of your struggle. If your life would have been very smooth,
Right.
you wouldn't have any story to tell.
No, exactly. I mean, it would lack that excitement. I would rather say it would lack that excitement of really living a life wherein you are making a change in people's life. Now, Pallav, tell me, this is on off the ground. I see a lot of positivity in you. I see a lot of the kind of spirit that I have spoken to many sports person. I have the last week we have spoken to Paulo, who's working with a lot of sports person. And Pallav, I see that you have that sportsman spirit. So, are you into sports yourself, or what kind of teaching are you picking from the sport? What is the kind of favorite sport that you are into? What drives Pallav? Let's say if I say, what is that sport which drives Pallav, and what has it taught in your life?
Oh well, I am a football fanatic.
Okay, that's great.
Uh, I'm a football fanatic, and I used to play football.
Okay,
See, if you in football, mm, it's a very physical game. football is a very physical game,
Right.
and you get hurt when you are playing football.
Hmm.
You get hurt easily. Okay, but
Exactly.
that but those I mean when you are shoving, pushing, but
Mhm.
you have to overcome those challenges, na,
Right.
overcome
Right.
those challenges. Football is a game like you are always in it, like it's a 90 minutes game. You are always in it, and you are always doing something. There was a not a moment of time that you are relaxing.
You're
Okay, you
relaxing.
have to be in the game. You have to
Right.
be in the game. And like when I am doing things, I when I am talking with someone, I always focus in that time very intensely. So football
Okay.
taught me to rise up again after like you get
Every
tackled,
time you fall
you
down.
fail on the ground, you get
Right.
tackled, you fail on the ground, you have a pain, you have a bruised knee, but
Okay.
you don't care. Okay, you have to finish the game with the bruised knee. The bruised knee can be taken care of after the game.
Okay.
So
Okay.
in life also, there will be bruised knees, there will be tackles, there will be yellow cards, red cards, but you are not stopping playing the game. You are not quitting the game, na.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's
Okay,
the
you
game
have
of the
to.
life. It's the game of the life that you are in, and an entrepreneur never takes a no for granted. I mean, they are, yes, they are not afraid of falling down. I mean, as you have mentioned, a bruised knee can be taken care of later on, but the game should go on. It's the 90 minutes which you have to put the best. So, Pallab, I guess football has given that spirit, that fire in the belly, which I say to go ahead and pursue your dream. And it is so great. It is so great to see you doing so good with your clients. And I happen to have read the testimonials which your clients have posted. I mean, they almost consider you not like a financial advisor. They are considering you as a God sent angel who have made their life a bit different in terms of fund management, in terms of better financial planning,
Managing life.
managing life. Absolutely, it's not about, as you have mentioned, quoting you only. It's not about managing the fund. It's about managing the behavior, managing the emotions around the fund. It's 80% around that. Now, Pallab, when we are talking about this, see the present scenario of the present, market which we are talking about, it has become very volatile, has become very difficult. So in that kind of situation, how do you keep yourself focused? How do you keep yourself motivated? I would just like to know, because in a day of pandemic, it's been almost 3 months, and people are already suffering from a lot of symptoms and post-traumatic symptoms and depression. I have been speaking to a lot of professionals who are finding it absolutely difficult to keep up with their regular life. So in this situation, how is Pallab keeping up as an entrepreneur? How is he still focused? How is he still managing to say that you will have a bruised knee, you can take care of it later on, but let's give it the very best in the 90 minutes. What is driving you during this pandemic? What is it that you are getting driven by, this motivation that you are talking about?
uh, like the crisis, in crisis, people need like I am talking, you are you talk are you want to know about my like my own, I am why how I am handling my life or my client's life?
Right. Both, because see, the
Both.
uh,
Okay,
the
okay,
main thing is, you are
okay.
a consultant. If you are not positively handling your life, you will be absolutely not able to handle my life or my fund positively. So you have to be constantly, so the thing is, you are constantly stressed out, you are constantly facing the challenges, you are facing the market, and yet every client is different. So in this situation, how are you keeping yourself motivated? How are you feeling motivated, and how are you taking care of the client's life also? Because it's not a one-time thing, Pallab. When you are managing my fund, it becomes like a continuous process. So that means that you have to be a very positive person to constantly give a positive result to me, right? So how are you motivated? How are you keeping yourself positive? How are you keeping yourself very focused in this time of pandemic?
See, Sanjay, like I always focus the things which I can manage. What is, those things that aren't in my control. There are some many things I can't control. Like I can't control if I go out in the road and some corona infected push me, okay, or I get in touch with a corona infected people, okay,
Right.
that I can't dictate, okay. So I have to take my own precautions, and
Okay.
what I can do, I can
Wear
wash
the
my
mask.
hands in
Yes.
time, like I can put on a mask, I can
Right.
put on a face shield, I
Mhm.
can carry a sanitizer. Like I can't control those things which I can't control. I can
Right.
control myself. So in this situation, I my lifestyle is simple. Boss, you try to control the things which is in your hand.
Okay. That's
Like
that's great way of saying. That's great way of saying, Pallab. Yes.
like
Please.
like these things will also pass on. Humanity or this our civilization is not so not gonna wipe out.
Okay.
Human civilization not gonna wipe out now in this pandemic.
Hmm.
We need to survive. We need to
Absolutely.
survive this period. And look, I am always hopeful. I never lost hope. Like given a situation, it's 85th minute of a game of football, and you are you are losing the game in 2 goals.
Okay.
Okay, and I will try to overcome the situation. In next 2 minutes, I can score 3 goals.
That's great
I
way of
I'm
saying.
and I'm always hopeful. And about my clients, I talk to them. I try to infuse my positivity in them, and thankfully I can do so, because uh, what I am what I do with integrity, and I tell them the right thing and tell them the true thing. Like
Okay.
when you are telling a true thing, you don't have to tell the things that uh, like I'm not finding the correct words, but
No, I absolutely understand, Pallab. What you are referring is like, when you are very honest about your
truthful,
work,
like
right, and you are getting back to your clients with a very honest feedback, without any wrong promises, without any false promises. It's like they also feel, they also see the correct picture. It's about showing the correct picture to them, and it's like, see, these are the things which are
like
at ease.
this thing will go on.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Like Sanjay, you can write down in 2021. This is June 2020, na,
Right.
and you can write it down. 2021 June. We will be we'll chat like we were chatting in 2020 2019. Like 6 months back, life will be normal after 1 year.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
we have
sure.
to survive this situation. We have to be ever hopeful,
So I
because
Pallab, I always mention, Pallab. that entrepreneurs are every entrepreneur that I've spoken to, they suffer from one very highly contagious and infectious disease, the disease of hope, the disease of infusing positivity. So I see that today also, when I speak to you, honestly speaking, if talking to you, I am but forced to not think of COVID. I am but forced not to think of pandemic, and there is a lot of positivity while we are chatting. It's all about. See, you are a financial consultant. Let me be very honest. But for once, you have not spoken about what kind of products you sell, what kind of things you do, but rather you're talking about managing behavior, you're talking about managing lifestyle, you're talking about the right kind of emotion, you're talking about being ethical with your customers. So, Pallab, the thing is, in today's market, when there are so big giant organizations who are earning profit with wrong intentions, selling wrong kind of products, do you believe as entrepreneurs they have taken this responsibility on their shoulder of being ethical? Because all the entrepreneurs that I've spoken to have always mentioned, just like you you have mentioned that I tell to my client what is it. I give them the honest feedback, I give them the honest information. Like many a times, Pallab, I'm sure that honest information might have, made you lose business, because I might have thought like, okay, if I go with this investment, I will get a 80% return. You might have got my money saying that yes, yes, sir, it is not 80%, it is going to be 85%. Trust me. You could have got the business, but you are talking about ethics, and you say that you are being ethical. So, Pallav, why is it that when big corporations, big organizations are becoming unethical day by day, I'm not taking any names here, why is it that the entrepreneurs are sticking to ethics? They're talking about positivity, they're talking about being ethical. Is being ethical one of the core characteristics of an entrepreneur?
Right, Sanjay. Basically, you like what you like. You want to play a test cricket, or you want to play a one over. Okay, being unethical, you in short term you can earn a lot of money. Okay,
Right.
it will gain you a short term success, but in long term, if you want to be remembered positively, if you want to leave a legacy, you have to be ethical. Like we always like Mr. Ratan Tata,
Okay.
whenever
One of
whenever
my
we took,
favorite mentors, and you
like
steal the show mentioning his name. Thank you so much for bringing up. Yes, Pallav, tell me.
when we are taking his name, we always I mean, if there is one man, one businessman we can follow, that is Mr. Ratan Tata. Why Mr. Ratan Tata?
Absolutely,
There are
absolutely
so
agree.
many businessmen who are doing business more than him, but why it is Mr. Ratan Tata? So being an entrepreneur, being a human being, you should leave a legacy
Fantastic. That is
that
exactly,
after
exactly.
100 years, if there is one people taking your name, he or she should take your name with such a way that inspire them. So,
Fantastic.
uh,
Absolutely agreed.
so,
Absolutely agreed.
so you have to be ethical. There is no other way.
That is
So,
very nice way of putting, Pallav. That is really very nice way of putting. I mean, I absolutely agree with you that yes, it is true that big corporations like big giants in the organization in the global market are earning a lot of profit, earning a lot of revenues. But the thing is, in the long run, it is ethics, it is the honesty which makes you leave behind a legacy. The kind of legacy that Tata Trust has left behind, Jamshedji Moralji Tata, now we are talking about Ratanji, the kind of legacy. that they are leaving behind. They have, they will be remembered not after 100 years, even after, I can say, even after 200 years. These case studies will be studied by business school to understand the kind of ethical business model. That is
Right,
fantastic way of
right.
saying, Pallav. That is fantastic way of saying. So, Pallav, if I would like to wrap up this show. I would love to continue this show for hours because I feel completely motivated, completely charged up talking to you. But we have some limitations and we have to wrap up the show. If I, my last, we have a rapid round question in the last. But before that, my last question to you would be like, how important personal discipline is in the life of an entrepreneur. How how you put personal discipline when it talks about an entrepreneur. What is the role of personal discipline in terms of, because see Pallav, I'll tell you why. Because many a times entrepreneurs are being labeled as uh, unsocial people, are labeled as somebody who does not like to open up very easily. Sometimes they are being misunderstood as having a upper hand attitude, like I don't know what they are doing, but he thinks he's going to make a huge difference in this world. So he's got an attitude. Many a times I've seen entrepreneurs are being uh, misunderstood. But what is the part of discipline, of requirement of a discipline in the life of an entrepreneur? What is discipline doing in life of Pallab as an entrepreneur?
Uh, uh, Disciplined, this term discipline, uh, like what I can say, I mm, as an entrepreneur, I always there are many, basically there are instances where you have temptations. Okay,
Exactly.
you have certain time that you tempt to do such things that is not going with your values.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to be disciplined in your life, in what you are doing, that matches with your values and ethics. So that discipline you have to be have in you as an entrepreneur. Like what I am doing, if I meet a client, and if my client is asking for something that is
Mhm.
not good for him, I should have the courage to tell him that no, this is not good for you. And if you are not doing the right thing, then find someone else. I am not going to work with you. Are you
Okay.
getting it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like
I absolutely get
like
your
I
point.
I,
And
I have instances. I this discipline, I keep the discipline with me. If uh, my client and me are not on the same page, okay, there are many instances that I don't work with them. Like I ask very politely that sir or madam, I am not agreeing with your type of investment or your type of lifestyle, and please pardon me, I can't work with you. Like, you have to be that type of I these things, I think I'm very disciplined about and very particular about.
so, Pallav, when you're talking about that kind of discipline, I'm sure that kind of discipline makes your life many a times difficult. So, do you ever have that temptation in you of like when things are not, let's say, your monthly target or your monthly revenue generation? Because I'm sure that when you are running this organization, you have expenses to meet, you have certain expectations, your other employees have certain expectations. Now, when such a kind of thing is happening, the temptation can creep like, if I can tweak this truth a bit, I can get this business. So you're talking about that ethical discipline wherein you are not being tempted to take that opportunity to actually go ahead. I am sure, Pallav, I absolutely agree with you, and I'm sure that those clients, if they do not take your advice, and let's say they do not agree to your advice and they take a different step, the moment they face any loss, I can guarantee you one thing, and I'm sure that you will agree with me. Those clients come directly to you very first, apologizing that Pallab, I was so wrong with your advice, not accepting it. Things have gone bad. So can you take
This had
now?
happened.
Things
This has
like
happened.
that
This has
happens, I'm
happened.
sure, right? Okay, okay, that's great. So I'm sure that Pallab, when you're talking about legacy, when you're talking about being ethical, discipline has actually motivated you. Discipline has kept you in the ground, and your love for sports, your love for the this football has taught you to take up challenges and never give up. So that kind of spirit I really appreciate, and I on behalf of Career Counseling Online, I literally wish you and your project the very best, the very best. Because I'm very sure
Thank you.
that in a market where investors or investment planners are trying to get business, telling lies. I mean, I'm not trying to defame anybody. Please, we are not trying to defame anybody, but we know such kind of things happens. Many a times the terms and conditions are not explained. Many a times, the kind of premium that the person has to pay after a certain period is not explained. You will agree with me. But that kind of business is very short term. That kind of business is very unethical. And fixed investment is not into practice of such because it has an entrepreneur who is driven by discipline. It has an entrepreneur who is, driven by the spirit of taking that challenge that yes, I might lose that business, but I will not give a wrong information. And that makes Pallav and his startup an ethical one. And I'm happy to talk to you, Pallav, and I'm happy to know about your initiative. Now, Pallav, we come to this last round. Enough of serious talks. Enough of I would say serious, serious-minded talks. Now, I would come to this favorite. This part is my favorite at the last, wherein I ask rapid questions, and
Okay.
you have to give me one single answer only. Okay. Like for instance, if I ask you, what is your favorite food? You cannot be explaining all the Bengali cuisines. You can give me only one particular name. Accordingly, I will ask you 5 questions and you can answer those. What is the book that you are currently reading? If you are reading any book, what is the book that you are reading? Because I am informed that you are an avid reader. You read a lot, you write blogs, you write on different websites. So, what is the book that you are reading?
Count your chicken before they hatch.
And this book is by whom?
I forgot the writer name right
Okay.
now, but
Okay.
I read the book a lot.
Okay.
In my initial days,
Okay.
someone referred the book to me,
Okay.
and I read that book, and this book helped me a lot.
Could you give the
Helped
name
me a
again? Could you
lot.
give the name again for the viewers? Could you give the name once again for the viewers?
Count your chicken before they hatch.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's great. That's great. Okay, what is that Bengali cuisine which Pallav falls for? I mean, he cannot say no to. What is that Bengali cuisine that Pallav cannot say no to?
Oh, that is bhat and ilish mach bhaja.
That's so very. I mean, Pallav. I mean, I would say that was pretty obvious to be even thought about. I was about to guess, but before that, that came in. I mean, that's absolutely great. And cricket or football?
Pardon me?
Cricket or football?
Football. Football.
Okay, that's great. I mean, I'm sure that when you were referring about football so much, the choice was obvious. And love marriage or arranged marriage?
Love marriage.
So is it like an arranged marriage turned into love, or a love marriage turned into an arranged marriage? What is it?
Love marriage turned into arranged marriage.
So that's great. That's great. Given a chance for a vacation, is it going to be a destination in the Himachal, or is it going to be Switzerland?
What, Switzerland and
Given a chance for a vacation, all paid
right,
vacation, let's say
right.
we sponsor your vacation. Would you choose Shimla or Himachal over Switzerland, or Switzerland over Himachal?
Switzerland over Himachal. See, I have never been to Switzerland. I never been to Himachal too. Given a chance, first I want to go to Himachal. Then next, Switzerland would be on the menu. But first I want to go to Himachal. Being a
So,
paid trip or non-paid trip.
okay. So that shows the Indian spirit, being grounded to the Indian spirit of loving the own country. That's absolutely we appreciate for love. That shows your kind of connectivity with India and its people. And my last question, which always ends with, what would be that message to those entrepreneurs who might be thinking or are hesitating to start their journey? What would be your message to them?
Well, my message to them that if you are planning to do something, uh, you should do it. Or basically, you have one life now, only one life. If you want to do something meaningful, what's stopping you? Let's make a plan. Uh, let's make some arrangements and do it. Like there will be hurdles, there will be falls, but it's your life. And if you are planning to do something, do it. But first, take a stock, plan, and do it. Do it. Always do it. It's your life, one life, only one life.
Thank you, Pallab, so much. I mean, the message goes very strong to all those entrepreneurs who are watching this show live right now. Here is one entrepreneur we are talking to. It was lovely talking to Pallab and knowing about the different aspects of his thought process. And the message goes to all the entrepreneurs from Pallab is, it's one life and you need to do something meaningful with it. You might be comfortable, you might be doing whatever you want to do, but unless you're driven by a passion to leave behind a legacy, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And to carry or to create that legacy, you have to be ethical. And to be ethical, first thing that is required in your life is discipline. So to the budding entrepreneurs, Pallab says, you need to take chance. You need to start the journey. As I always fondly say, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. So take that step, embark on that journey. You might fail. You might fail, but again you stand up. Don't accept that failure as the last stop. You again stand up. You again start your journey. So Pallab, thank you so much for being with us and giving us your time. It was a really enriching experience talking to you. We learned a lot. It was great. I would like to share your organization's details in our description of the show. Every details will be available, and it was really, really great to have you in my show. So, with all the best wishes for you and your organization, I'm sure with the kind of hard work and ethical work that you are doing, we wish that in the next 5 years you are spreading across 5 metropolitans. That is the kind of wish that we send from our side to you, because here we are talking about ethics even when we are talking about fun. Here we are talking about handling behavior before you in handling your money. Here we are talking to somebody who says that I say no to those kind of business practices wherein I have to tell a lie. So with that kind of mindset, Pallab, I can assure you, fixed investment is going to be that organization which people trust. No matter I want to invest 500 or 5,000 or 5 lakhs, people would be investing into emotion, into better hands of Pallab Dutta and its organization. So thank you so much, Pallab, for joining us today. It was great talking to you. It was great, a motivational speech from your side. It's great. Thank you so much for joining us today. I sign off.
Thank you, Sanjay. I wish your career counseling online also a roaring success. You are doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
I
Yes, yes.
follow your videos. I follow your tips. That helps me a lot. And I would request those people who are watching this video, please follow those videos of Sanjay. Like the videos are hidden gems. Don't
Thank you
miss it.
so much, Paul. Thank you so much. I mean, I really appreciate. I mean, I'm really, really happy to see that these videos are helping in some way, and you mentioning those that really motivates me to do the job. Thank you so much, Pallav, and it's so motivating. See, guys, on the parting note, I would also like to see. See, here is one note that we need to learn from entrepreneurs. They are not only self-motivated, but the thing is they motivate others also. They support others' effort also. So today, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to make it a point to support others, to stand for others. That is the true signature of an entrepreneur. And as Pallav has mentioned about Ratan Tata, he was a motivator throughout his life. Even right now, he is motivating under the Tata Trust. He has a different project wherein only startup entrepreneurs are being motivated, are being guided, are being invested upon. So thank you so much, Paula, for your support, and I wish you all the best once again. It was great to have you in my show. With that, we wrap up today's show. Guys, do not forget to catch us live 7 p.m. today to watch this particular video, this particular show in the watch party. Thanks a lot for joining us. All the best to you.